One stormy evening, two boys were watching an edited-for-television version of Lethal Weapon.
F you! I'm jumping! Do you really want to jump?
When one of their fathers entered the room and declared the program to be mind poison. Seemingly overnight, those boys became men, their minds filled with poison from endless hours of entertainment consumption. With no available outlet for release and therapy being rather costly due to high-deductible insurance policies, they decided to start a podcast instead. That podcast is Mind Poison. Hey everybody, and welcome to Mind Poison. We hope you're having a wonderful, terrific, fantabulous frickin' week. I'm Mark.
I'm Jesse.
Yes.
Welcome to Mind Poison, episode number 17. Exciting stuff.
It is exciting stuff. We never thought we'd make it this far, and we've kind of been bypassing the weekly, episode number, but...
I'm keeping it in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, the voices in my head keep telling me what the number is.
We predicted episode 3, and here we are on 17, so we must be doing something right.
Well, right might be a strong word for it.
Yeah, that might be true.
But,
New listeners in Japan.
Oh.
New listeners in the UK. Big shout out to all our folks hanging out with us there. That's very kind of you. Hope you enjoy our Colorado, Minnesota, Midwest, West Coast humor. It's always a grandiose time.
It is. It's a real melting pot of humor and accents.
The wine boys.
The wine boys are here. Although
Yeah.
I'm not drinking wine tonight, so I don't want to be deceitful to our lovely listeners. It's a beer night for me, as most nights are, but
Maybe you can mix a fine rosé in there.
maybe I can. But I'd have to leave and go to the store, so that would make for a bad show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of bad shows, I'm a little
Sure.
anxious about tonight because I don't know how much I'm feeling it, man. I'm really tired.
Oh, buddy.
It's a long night. I know. I'm just looking for pity.
Oh, buddy.
It's we're recording this, spoiler alert, on July 5th. So last night was America's birthday, and we've got some shitty people in our neighborhood who love them some 4th of July.
Oh, those firecrackers are nonstop.
Oh man. That's and it was worse. It wasn't even nonstop, but which I'd almost prefer it to be nonstop. This was sporadic, and then when it would happen, it was very, very loud. Like
Yeah.
they were spending some money on these fireworks.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
You know?
The ones that even the private ones are shooting off. We were up outside Denver in a park on a big hilltop overlooking the entire city, so you could see displays going off everywhere, but also the private displays from the neighborhoods below. And they're pretty badass these days.
I know. People are dropping some serious money on
It's
these
not
on
cheap.
these fireworks.
Yeah, that shit is not cheap. They're spending, a couple $100 for a good batch of those big ones that blow up like boom, 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 and it's done.
Yeah, I think it's a couple $100 for like one. It's crazy.
Yeah. It seems like a gigantic waste of money to me.
So it was kind of one of those things where like you'd almost get to sleep or be resting, and then it just blow up, 12:30 at night.
Oh, yeah.
And like I'm an angry person generally speaking, but I think
No.
my anger levels get much higher when I'm just waking up or trying to go to sleep.
I get you, man. I wake up like an asshole.
I was just like, I hope these people fucking die. I hope that firework blows up in your fucking face, you assholes.
Do you get the internal fight going on after that's happened? You're like, God, you should be more peaceful.
Nah, man. So I don't really have that fight. My fight is more like, should I just go out and yell?
Should I just gripe about this, or should I go out and murder them?
But luckily I have a podcast. And I can gripe about it the next day and feel bad about it all day until I want to talk about it.
Yeah, I think that's in one of our descriptors on the iTunes download is that we do this instead of paying for therapy. Or it might be in our long opening too, but it's not untrue.
It's not. No. That's true. A fun fact I learned about the 4th of July. I have a acquaintance who does some volunteer work with veterans with PTSD. And apparently 4th of July is just a nightmare time of year for them because all the fireworks and everything is just a total trigger for the bombs and all the shit they had to go through. So I just really love that little American idiosyncrasy.
There you go. Yeah, that's a nice one. There you go, America, motherfuckers.
yeah, that we've just got, probably, other than those who died, the people who have probably suffered the worst to fight for our freedom get terrified and have just a really shitty night on the night that we like to celebrate our freedom. So I thought that was kind of fun.
No, that is interesting.
Yeah.
That's overlooked for sure.
So think about that when you're fucking lighting fireworks off at 12:30 in the morning, you fucking assholes.
Oh, totally. I mean, no, that makes perfect sense. I mean, especially when there's those big ones exploding right out your door, it sounds like gunshots. It sounds like little bombs.
Yeah, kind of a bad deal. I mean, I think how bad it just bothers me for someone who has an issue with things like that. I can just imagine it'd be horrible.
Yeah.
So that's fun fact for the night.
Yeah, well, I feel like, back when we were kids, people, other than the main displays, the professional city displays, it was bottle rockets.
Right.
People were shooting off bottle rockets. Moon whistlers were pretty cool.
The snakes.
Occasionally, fucking snakes.
A good old snake.
Whippersnappers. Pop rocks. Well, not pop rocks. That's the thing you eat. But yeah, they were whippersnappers, right?
The little white things that you just, little like cap in a bag.
Yeah, those are great. But now the private fireworks are pretty legit.
Yeah.
And it doesn't end.
Doesn't end.
No, it doesn't end. Like in LA where we lived in Redondo Beach, kind of where we were, I think for some reason you're just sort of like up a natural rising slope from all of LA, the basin. So where we lived, you could kind of look down and see from the airport all the way to downtown. You could see the Hollywood sign. And dude, for whatever reason, the fireworks would echo up this area and all night. So it's not all night long. Sounded like nonstop explosion. Just like nonstop gunfire for 6 hours. That's what it sounds like.
It sounds real pleasant.
Oh, it was crazy. It was only in that area. And once you live there and you're like, what the fuck? I think the first year I lived there, it was like 3 a.m. I was just like, what is going on?
What is happening?
Yeah. And it took me like a year or two to figure out that it was just like the echo from every firework happening across LA. Just somehow probably coming with the wind or whatever the fuck and coming right up miles away to where we were. So it'd be like a 6 hour just boom fest. It was really weird. Yeah. I don't know how that really operated, but it did, and it was annoying.
Yeah, it just really gets my goat. It's just very disrespectful, and so. But I don't know. Maybe I sound like a old man.
You do, no doubt. We had it was pretty awesome where we were. We had this great, probably 56-year-old black woman grandma next to us with all her grandkids. Really fun family, but she was just like the cruise director. She was like in charge. Just every firework that went off, just oh yeah.
She was the hype man for the fireworks.
Yeah, she was the hype man. It was amazing. Then she was like popping off. She like random shit. She was like casino.
just threw that out there apropos of nothing.
Crazy random shit. Threatening to like get her kids in line if they didn't watch the fireworks. But she was like this sweet lady, and it was like really funny. And Yeah, she was just she was having the time of her life. It was like the first firework you'd ever seen.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's wonderful though. And it was something I had tried to mention a week or two ago. I don't know if it actually made it into the show or not, but just find, if you're not that into something, find someone around you that is into it. Because
Yeah, I think
yeah, because just like being able to like live vicariously through someone who's really enjoying themselves,
really excited about life.
Yes, that's what you need.
Totally. Like that is no, and I remember I listened back to the episode and I think it did make it in. I mean, you're in charge of what makes it.
Yeah, I don't remember, man. I don't remember from last week. The only thing I remember from last week is I fucking was breathing a lot. So I'm trying to hone that in.
I don't worry about it. You got a new microphone.
Yeah.
You just need to get your little sound gate action going.
Well, I don't think the sound gate. The other thing is I might as well. I wanted to nickname myself the guy, because every fucking thing you'd say was, oh yeah. Yeah.
That's what you do?
That's my. I just did it right there.
But you cut them out.
Some of them. I can't cut all of them out.
Yeah.
It would just be
I can't spend 2 weeks editing this.
I'm trying to meet a deadline here.
Well, I got a new bike this week.
Ooh.
I was real excited about that. Actually, the father-in-law fixed it up because I bought this bike on the Boulevard of Sexy Dreams.
Oh, boy. Is that website?
That's otherwise known as a pawn shop.
I have not heard that.
No, most people haven't.
That's because I just made it up.
Yeah. So the wife and I went to a bike shop because, she's got one. I've been wanting one. And, even the used ones are like $200, $300, $400. And I'm just, biking's not really my thing. I'd like to have a little something to ride down some of the trails around here. But, thinking more Craigslist. Let's really just whatever, So we pass a pawn shop. I'm like, oh, shit. 6 or 7 bikes out front. Pull in. 130 down to 100. That's a satisfactory price for me for a bike.
Ooh, that is a good price. It's a good bike. Serviceable.
It's a Trek. It was not bad. Her dad kind of fixed up the brakes and
you want those.
And fixed a tire that was a little messed up.
Okay.
So yeah, it seems fine now. I rode it around the other day. I shamefully had completely forgotten how to work the gears on a bike. I had been on a bike for 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm riding around and I'm pushing the main gears, but then I totally forget that there's the little switches behind it to lower them or whatever.
Right.
That took me a minute to figure out.
My bike, they're on opposite handlebars, so it's hard to forget. But
so one goes up, one goes down.
Well, no, there's the one handlebar is the gears for the significant changes, and then the other handlebar is sort of the smaller gear changes.
Yeah, I still don't think I understand what's going on.
I don't really. I mean, even saying that, I'm I don't think I understand how it works.
Yeah.
It's funny about bikes that it's really far more mechanically intricate than even I can understand. And, I obviously don't understand how a car works, but even a bike where you can see all the parts, I'm still I don't really get this.
Yeah.
I get the idea with the chain and that part I get, but once you're switching gears and stuff, yeah.
I feel it would fuck up a lot more because you're switching gears and you hear the chain moving and clicking into place. You're how does this thing not just constantly come off?
What's moving it down there?
Yeah.
And how every bike has a ghost?
I've told a lot of people about our story now where we were talking about the SB7 Spirit Box and how once we started talking about it, we tried to match the audio from the show and how it just wouldn't match. Everyone loves that ghost story.
Oh yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Or it could have just been a bad internet connection too.
No, because we weren't recording that on the internet. That's the whole thing that doesn't make any sense about it. Okay, so for everyone who doesn't know, at one point we were talking about ghost hunting on the show, and we were talking about getting SB7 Spirit Box, half mocking Zach Baggins from Ghost Adventures.
Not me. I was not mocking anything.
He was no one mocks Zach. So anyway, we record on private we're not recording online. I'm recording on my own program. You're recording on yours.
That's true. Yep. Okay. That's a good point. Good point.
So I email mine to you, and you blend them together. It should be as simple as that. But on this episode, only when we were talking about ghost hunting, the audio would jump forward, would jump back. You couldn't mix it at all.
And it sucked to try to edit. Let me tell you that. Real P in the A.
That was a weird situation.
It was. Yeah. It was for a little while. I thought we'd get SB7 and try and get a ghost on the podcast. And that after that, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that.
Little do you know, I am a ghost. Oh yeah.
You're supposed to wait till the end for the big twist.
I'm always blowing it early. It's been the story of my life.
Yep. Yeah, that should be at the end of season 1. I've been a ghost the whole time.
Oh.
Do we have seasons?
I don't know if we have seasons.
No, I don't think we do.
Maybe
We'll
at
see.
some point when we're huge, we'll take like a summer break for a month, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
It could be tough.
Let's see what happens.
Once we're massive, I mean bigger than we already are.
Once the Wine Boys Inc. has gone global.
Wine Boys Inc. rolls on.
Yeah. This is one bit of news that I kind of liked. I didn't know I learned this too, another 4th of July thing. There's apparently a Major League Eating.
Yeah, like the hot dog guys and all that shit.
Yep, the hot dog eating contest happened on the 4th.
There's that one dude who always kills it. No one can get near him. Right?
Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, Joey
I think.
Chestnut.
And he
Real American hero.
he
Jesus
really
Christ.
is. So here's some interesting things I learned about that. He ate 74 hot dogs in 10 minutes. That's with the
Fucking
bun.
gross. Kill me.
So the big issue was they had originally said that he had eaten 64, not 74. Like they
They don't
lost.
count shoving them up his ass anymore, huh?
I don't think that does count. We got to take that to the Major League Eating video review. But so I read this article today that was like about, maybe it's time that Major League Eating gets into the digital age, and they're going to start, electronically keep track of how many hot dogs these people are eating.
What's the difference?
Yes, it said Major League Eating president said, "We were embarrassed." And imagine how hard that is to embarrass the president of Major League Eating.
Major League Eating. Oh, God.
President Rich Shea said yesterday's incident might be the impetus to bring competitive eating into the digital age.
I don't understand how that still wouldn't take a person, because it's a fucking hot dog shoving down their gullet. It'd still take a person to click that digital. There's no, it's not like a strike zone in baseball where you can just, because these guys crush up these hot dogs, they just shove them down their mouth, they wet the buns. It's the most disgusting thing you've ever seen. The fact that it's a thing is fucking pathetic and a huge indication on our culture.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't understand how digital is gonna somehow fix that. How about you just have one judge per contestant counting their bites? I don't know how else that would work.
I doubt we can put the microchip on the tongue or in the esophagus, Shea said.
See, what are you even talking about,
Some
man?
sort of monitoring associated with the plate weight would be more practical.
I just feel like this guy's gonna be at the bad end of a shotgun shell in 5 years.
Joey Chestnut or the president of Major League Eating?
No, the president. Just splattered all over his closet. I mean, when you come to the conclusion that your life is talking about microchips on tongues to slam wet hot dogs down your gullet in a show of just utter disgustation.
Well, here's another thing then that you'll appreciate. With Chestnut going from 64 to 74, that was the controversy. He hit over.
How do you miss that many, though? That's fucked up.
He hit over on the betting line, flipping winners and losers in an instant. Offshore sports books received over $1 million in bets for the contest.
Kill me. Right? I mean, come on.
Oh boy,
Like, what are we?
that's a great question.
what are we? Some people are like, man, this planet is so hilarious and the people are so hilarious because it's just the diversity. Some people are like these truly advanced souls, like super educated, super intelligent, super next level, and then other people are worried about putting microchips on tongues to slosh hot dogs down their throat. You think that's why why do you think we can't get along as a people? I mean, there you go, right there.
That's pretty stark differences right
Yeah,
there.
it's pretty indicting. It's just ridiculous.
In Rich Shea's defense, he did say, I don't think we can put microchips on tongues.
Bravo, Rick Shea.
I'm thinking more about a scale.
Jesus. I'm thinking more about a scale. What? Jesus.
Yeah.
Rick Shea. I mean, he's using all his brain computing power to come up with a fucking scale for a hot dog. God.
Well, let's see. We see July 4th, 2019. Let's see if they can get their get into the digital age by then.
Oh, the digital age isn't helping these guys.
Rick Shea, the world is watching.
The only thing about the digital age is helping these guys is like VR heart transplants. Right?
Yep.
That's what's going to help them in the digital age. It's when Joey Chestnut gets a new cow stomach,
Hey,
and the surgeon can use VR to like really be precise about putting it in.
that's that seems good. I'd
Joey
buy it.
Chestnut, ladies and gentlemen, he's in the studio live tonight. Welcome, Joey. How was the contest? Oh, it was really good. I just shoved hot dogs down my throat all night. Ah.
Yeah, I heard you were at an average of one hot dog for every was it seven point something seconds.
Oh,
that's pretty impressive. How does that feel?
Feels really good. I practiced all year long shoving hot dogs. I just found that shoving up my ass usually helped the most. Kind of expanded my whole stomach. I could really put them up my ass. Oh, that's really insightful, Joey. Tell us more.
Thank you, Joey. Is it the 10 hot dogs a minute that make you sound like a monster?
Is your mom proud of you, Joey? She choked out a dog.
Oh yeah, she was like, this is what my son's really into. We
Yeah.
should probably see if we want to start spending some quality time together. I should probably get into competition hot dog eating too.
You did well, Miss Chestnut. You did well.
Oh boy.
Thank you for your contribution.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Well, Scott Pruitt's out.
Oh.
EPA embattled EPA director Scott Pruitt, real son of a bitch.
Yeah, there's been a lot of bad stuff happening, man, but this one hurts.
Oh yeah, it really hurts. And replaced by an Andrew whatchamacallit.
Oh, they already got somebody?
Oh yeah, and they're already more afraid of him than Scott Pruitt, of course.
Yeah.
That's how you get it. If you're not worse than the guy you replaced, then there's no chance for you in Trump's admin. And so I said, if history is any indicator, the replacement is a Nazi who still hates the environment.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah. So instead of just hating the environment, you also should be a Nazi.
I mean, at this point, maybe he'll focus more on the being a Nazi thing than being anti-environment. So maybe in the end, that's better for the environment.
Yeah, could be. We need to focus on the Nazi.
Let's focus more on the white power angle that the EPA can bring.
Yeah, sure. We're going to get some heat for that one. Oh, you want him to focus more on the Nazi than the environment?
I'm just saying.
How do Trump fans reconcile back to 4th of July and like PSTD with fireworks? How do Trump fans reconcile that we fought the Nazis in World War II, we're pro-military, and we defeated the Nazis in World War II, yet most of our cabinet now is filled with Nazis, and our main supporters are Nazis? Is there any irony there? What do you think?
I think you're dealing with a group who generally ignores self-reflection,
Yeah.
or self-awareness. You know, I just think it's not even
On the radar.
doesn't even compute. Nope.
No, you're right.
It's just it's just our guy is right. That's all I need to know.
He happens to be a Nazi who we fought in World War II to defeat Nazism.
But he's not.
But this one's all right. He's a good Nazi.
He's not a Nazi.
Oh, he's not?
No. He doesn't have a tiny little mustache, and he doesn't have a red armband.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not a Nazi.
Yeah.
He's not a goddamn foreigner with a funny mustache. So,
No, you're right. That's right.
so that's
It's about as hardcore as they can take it in the thought process. Yeah.
I don't know how you could I don't know how you could support it.
It comes down to fear, man. It just comes down to fear. Human. Fear translates to anger. And that's all you're seeing right now is people afraid of change, afraid of what they don't know. And there has been a lot of change in the world, granted. So when you're not educated, and you see the world changing around you and say you're a white guy and suddenly you're like, I'm not the fucking dominant shit anymore. Well, first of all, you still are. Not that much has changed. You know what I mean? Things are changing, but come on. Like, get over that shit. But yeah, fear comes across as anger and fear of the unknown. And I think we're just seeing unprecedented change. Like, it's politics, but it's also like it's everything. I know we've kind of talked about this before, but I think it comes back to like just technology, the change in like 10 years ago from today, everyone's on their phones, everyone's staring at their phone to do everything. There's just this like massive change in the way humans operate. And a lot of people, because they're not prepared or educated to accept it, it's just coming out as violent backlash to it. And it's technology, it's racial integration. It's just like, we've had a black president now. Like, you fucking dude, 5 years ago, whatever, all these white people were calling that, racism was over because we, voted a black president in. And then like immediately after, everything started rising to the surface. And
I remember having that conversation with you. This is sort of that backlash. This is that what we're living through right now is sort of the pendulum swinging to that side of, fear and uncertainty, of the future. And that's just for me. I wish there was some guarantee that it would swing back.
I think it's going to swing back. It's being damaged severely right now, but I think it can swing back with great positivity. The darkness that he brings can unite the world. And it is currently uniting the world. So as long as people get out and fucking vote,
do it.
This can change back. And it should. It really should. His actual hardcore supporters are, like 4 out of every 10 people. So, technically, if everyone gets out and fucking votes, you can swing this back the other way. I don't know if that. Yeah, you're right. I don't know if that's going to happen.
I'm going to vote 4 times.
Yeah, there you go. But it is like, and I've talked about this Chinese proverb before, it's when the world and things seem most dark is when it's actually enlightenment taking place because of what you just said. It's uniting against evil. And this is like, the funny thing is, it's like, you and I aren't like argent guys to like declare good versus evil, but Trump's group is evil. They're like an evil group of people.
Yeah.
And like, whether you want to call it evil or not, you have racism, you have keeping humans down, you have just, I don't know. I think it's evil.
I just, when you say evil, it's hard for me to kind of draw that line between ignorance and evil. That there certainly are a lot of people who are evil, but how many of them are just dumb and easily led?
So anyone like knowingly deceiving a group of people for personal gain when it's clearly against the larger good of society, I mean, or do you think that
Okay,
their
so you're-
ignorance do you think their ignorance goes to the top? Like, I think Donald Trump is ignorant. Do I think Donald Trump is evil? Not necessarily. I think he's just a stupid motherfucker. But I think he's got people around him who are kind of evil.
I think his circle, yes, evil. Yes. But I mean, I think when we're talking about like a lot of the people who follow him with the MAGA hats.
Yeah.
You know?
No, they're just stupid.
Yeah.
No offense, guys. No, none taken.
They're definitely still listening.
Yeah, none taken. That's what they just told me.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. You got the direct line
Yeah.
right into them. All right. Well,
Whatever. I mean, whether evil or just kind of ignorant. Yeah, you're right. You know, you might be right on that. Evil's quite the distinction in and of itself. So,
how are you feeling about Jurassic Park now?
I want to see it again almost.
I do too.
Yeah. I've had the urge to go just grab a bucket of popcorn and see it again.
Yep, I agree. That was it kind of almost seemed to me that there was a turn in the way it was received, that there was like at first a lot of people that were like, this is shit.
Yeah.
And there was sort of this like, yeah, but there's a lot of good stuff in this movie. You know, that there was kind of this idea that there's some things that are bad in it, like the story and the script are pretty bad, but that it was like really well shot and there are a lot of like good ideas, not particularly well executed, but
Is it still doing pretty well in the box office? I'm assuming it is.
yeah, I think so. I think this week with another one of Mark's favorite Avengers movies is coming out, but yeah.
Avengers Ball Suckers too.
I think it's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, I liked Ant-Man.
Yeah, I know you got your midnight screening ticket tonight.
Yeah. I actually enjoyed Ant-Man, so I'm not going to talk shit about that. I love Paul Rudd.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm. I've always been a big Paul Rudd fan.
You've been a big Rudd head.
I've been a broadhead from birth. Yeah. Ant-Man I enjoyed. I loved
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. I've talked about that. And I liked Robert Downey's one.
The Iron Man?
The Iron Man. That goes over well. Those statements go over like gold. I liked Mr. Downey Jr.'s.
Mr. Downey Jr.'s that one? Oh,
Yeah.
Wasn't it called The Iron Man?
You know, one of my favorite movies is Wonder Boys. It actually is. I loved Wonder Boys. That was a movie for me. If you want to know me around college age, Wonder Boys was it for me.
Wonder Boys? Nice.
Did you ever see it?
I don't think so. Michael Douglas, writer.
Yeah, he's like a stoner writer, author.
College professor,
but
Okay.
also author. Yeah, and it's just follows his story about kind of his interactions with this crew and writing his next book. And Downey Jr. is his agent. He's just sort of burnt out. And it's a great movie. But yeah,
Downey Jr.'s name. Okay.
we never really get into it. What are your favorite movies? What are your most influential movies? I know JP's up there, but like, what is? I don't know. We could go through the genres. What's your favorite movie? I know that's hard to do. Like your favorite few movies, your favorite handfuls. Like there's your comfort movies, and then there's like your epic movies that you loved. What are your favorite movies? I don't even know if I don't know this. We've never really discussed that.
I don't. It is very, very rare for me to watch a movie multiple times. Like I kind of just will watch them and hopefully, kind of remember watching them and be like, oh, that was good. That was not good. Jurassic Park, in terms of like that old school blockbuster filmmaking, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Jurassic Park, I think were my sort of like the two.
You're a Raiders fan?
Yeah.
Sweet. That's a good. I was watching that last night.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on the tube. That's a great one.
It is.
And the guy's about to sword fight him, and he just pulls out the gun and shoots him down. That's a great scene.
That was apparently improvised too.
Was it really?
Yeah. There's
Ah,
some story that was
yeah.
that like he was Harrison Ford was like sick that day or something.
Really?
Yeah. So he was just like, "Well, how about I just do this?"
That's funny. That's a great moment.
But yeah, I don't really have those types of movies that are good. I mean, the movie, I think I don't know if I mentioned it last time, The Room, that's definitely the movie I've seen the most. If that counts.
I mean, okay, so like Raiders of the Lost Ark, Jurassic Park, and I love those movies, and I love Jurassic Park. That's got to be one of my favorites. But like, was there like a drama that hit you, or were you just not really a drama guy? Because I'll just tell you mine right now, and I'm sure it can get mocked.
The Pelican Brief.
It is Shawshank Redemption.
A lot of people like that one.
I think it's like almost a flawless movie. It's just fucking awesome. And then, I don't know if people rag on it now. I think they came out the same year. I'm a Forrest Gump dude. I loved Forrest Gump. I thought that was such a wonderful, epic movie. Just an epic life tale of, I love that movie. So those are like the two that I can look to and say, as far as dramas go, those were my favorite. Do you have anything like that?
I mean, not really. No, I did the dramas. I can see a movie and be like, okay, that was good. Like I remember like There Will Be Blood. I liked a lot.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Don't really remember anything. I mean, anything he's made that I've seen.
It's so amazing.
Is good. I remember seeing like Boogie Nights in the theater and being
Boogie Nights
blown
is great.
away. But the things that honestly stick with me the most, I remember seeing fucking Paranormal Activity in the theater more than I remember seeing, Boogie Nights.
Or Three Ninjas.
I do kind of remember.
You, me, and your dad.
I do kind of remember seeing
the only time
Three
we
Ninjas.
ever hung out, I feel like it was just weird. For some reason, your dad took us to Three Ninjas.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, yeah. So, yeah, those are interesting.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like I saw this with you. The movie that I've seen most recently that really I'm like, this is a fucking great movie was Swiss Army Man.
That was really good.
I thought that was amazing, and that
was
is
such
sort
a cool
of
movie.
the kind of movies that I have been more into, or just sort of.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's movies that kind of play with the form a little bit, or just kind of use it as an excuse to be just more creative, or like what you can do with a movie to elicit certain emotions. That.
Yeah.
I don't know. That to me is more interesting than just like your sort of plainly plotted story.
Yeah. No, I love that one. And I get you. I love those. I love everything as far as, I mean, you and I separate probably on the horror genre most.
Yeah.
You love it. And I just, like it's me and my weird, like violence shit. I just don't do too much of it.
We're probably on the same lines, I think, of hating real life violence. But there's sort of, for me, it's almost like seeing it in a movie, it helps you deal with it. I do think that like horror movies a lot of times are that there's a certain release there, or like when you think things are horrible and then you get sort of verification that, oh, right, this is a horrible thing. And it kind of helps me feel balanced in a way, like if you feel like this and then can take in something like heavy metal that I listen to as well, like that, just like this entertainment that I consume brings me to that same level of where I am mentally, if that makes any sense. I don't know.
I mean, I think it does. I get that it does for you.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not saying that's the way to do it.
No, like I don't even know if I have that like concept in my head. You know what I mean? Like I totally appreciate that it is for you, and that makes us unique and beautiful humans.
Mm-hmm.
But like for me, I just don't even think that like exists in my head that way for some reason.
Well, and that's it. Like, are you sort of, God, that sounds so dumb. Like, do you embrace the darkness? That sounds like such a bad way to say it. But is that it? Like, do you sort of see that part of the world and kind of get into it? Or are you sort of like, okay, this is not for me and I can do better things with my time?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I do see the darkness. I see the darkness within myself. And I think I fight it.
Yeah.
And I think I like say, hey, I can focus my energy there, or I can focus my energy on the good, the kindness, the enlightenment of man, and just like fucking some kind of like godly. Mine always goes back to some like, okay, so I know I had this like in our notes. I don't know if we really want to get into this, but like, I'm a heavy meditator. I think you know that. I kind of always have been. And like, okay, so like when I was, I think 16, I was filming a movie with good old Juan. And we got in a car accident and we flipped off the highway. And dude, I had just one of those weird near-death experiences, but I remember it like boom, beat by beat, word by word. And we've talked about this before. I was like, you're going to die now. I wish I could have said goodbye to the people I know. They'll understand. And someday went through your head, and someday meant that you cannot understand death until you're dead. And it was this blissful experience, just blissful. No worries, just like fucking perfection. And you just knew, like, so anyway, we came to, and I'm hanging upside down in the car off the road. And dude, I was like in a trance. I remember him asking me, have you been through this before? Because I was just like, no big deal.
Because you weren't flipping out. You weren't like, oh my God, what's happening?
No, he was flipping out and crying. And I was just like meditative and smiling. Because yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, like, okay, so at that point, it was so weird. And I've only recently been kind of like figuring out what it was. I would get this thing like, I would just get like energy shooting up and down my spine. And even up into my head and like out my head. It just felt like there was like these waves of energy going through you. And I was always meditating because my dad was a meditator. So he kind of taught me to meditate. And I just thought maybe that's normal when you're meditating. It literally feels like just electricity going from the base of your spine that just like will just shoot up and go right out your head. So when you're meditating, it's like, so the more you look into it, like meditation talks about this, it's like third eye, kundalini, chakras, and systems opening up. And like years later, I kind of only recently, fucking 20 years later, finally, like at one point I just Googled energy, like feels like electricity is going up your spine. And what I stumbled upon was like this whole world of weird meditation, kundalini awakenings, third eye openings, that's like brings you closer to the spirit world. And I had no idea what the shit was just happening inside of me all these years. And suddenly I started to research it. And there's like yogi gurus talking about everything I experienced. Like electricity starting from your base. It's like your chakras. That's what they call it. Going up your base and like comes up and like literally in meditation, it feels like you have a weight forming in the middle of your forehead. And that's apparently like a third eye opening type deal. And it's really weird. So I never knew what it was. I read all these accounts of people really fearful of it. They thought they had diseases. They thought they were really sick. All the shit. I always just thought it was like this amazing rush. And so I've been looking into all that stuff. So like, I don't know, like I've always had that thing of like just that weird energy, like this. I know it's like, I'm not a religious dude. I'm not overtly, I don't submit to a religion, but I'm spiritual as fuck. And I've always felt that there's just like a oneness, a spiritual being. And like only recently have I kind of discovered that that's what these people call this, is like you're kind of connecting with the universe of like life itself. And so like, yeah, I don't know, like ever since I've been a kid, I've been drawn towards the light, and I understand that the evil is part of us. It's the yin and the yang, and it's very much a conceptual thing when you're having these moments that while you're with the light, you do see the evil around you, the evil within yourself, and you have to focus on being the light somehow. That was always some weird thing that was just conveyed to you innately.
Yeah.
That it was like your responsibility is to bring light into the world, not to bring more evil into the world. So that's wow, we just got fucking deep. So
Yeah, but
whether we keep that or not, we can absolutely keep that.
yeah. Will
Yeah.
we? I mean, do you feel like there's a direct connection from your experience with the car crash? Like, if you hadn't had that you would feel as strongly as you do? Like,
I feel like it's strengthening recently because I've been really, since we moved to Colorado, I've been having more time to dedicate to like really hard. And I've been like testing out like auditorial meditations, like sound wave meditations, which is really like kind of triggers certain elements of like this practice and bringing you to like sort of an elevated mental state where you're just like, dude, I'm telling you, just you feel like you're on a different plane. You're just like floating and you're all consciousness. And just the other day, I'm telling you, I just had like all of a sudden there's like a really like this energy like right in front of your eyes. You close your eyes and there's a purple orb floating in and out. It's so bizarre. And it was just like, I'm like, I don't know why it was, but it was just like, I don't know if I was thinking about consciousness and human consciousness like rising and what that can do to like offset shit in the world and how that needs to rise. But it was like, it just came to me that dark matter is human consciousness. That was like something that just came to me out of nowhere.
it just kind of just popped in there.
Yeah, though, like you're seriously getting weird messages. You're getting messages. You're like having thought, like.
But it doesn't feel like it's your own thoughts necessarily.
No,
like
it's not your own. It doesn't feel like it's your own thought. It feels like something's relaying messages to you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really weird. And I can see why people get fearful. I've even had strong anxiety since I've started kind of taking it to the next levels. I've had moments of like strong anxiety, like, fuck. I mean, this is really like opening my interior world right now. So, but it's cool because part of it is like, you should do this. Part of it is like, you need to share this information because it's very accessible for humans. I don't know on what level. I do think, back to your initial point, I think it did come, because I looked it up after that. Like when I finally fucking looked this shit up, it said, like it's a practice that comes through Kundalini yoga for years, but now there's like a weird rising consciousness going on and people are more easily accessing it. And it also said it can be triggered by near-death experiences. And then I look back to my near-death experience and then ever having that moment, just like feeling like I had this like weird pulsating energy going through my body. I've never told anyone about this other than my wife. I mean, we've talked about it a little, but none of our buddies know any of this shit.
Well, now they do.
Now they might, yeah, if they listen. Email us at mindpoisonpodcast@gmail.com, fuckers. Let us know what you think. But so it's like, man, it's and when you have these moments, it's not a guess, dude. It's not. It's in you. Like it's innately coming to you that this is. Mm-hmm. Like that's how it comes to you. It's not like I don't come out of it being like, I wonder if that was real. Like the way it comes to you is all-encompassing energy, like just this thing like coming into you. You feel like lightness, you'll feel heaviness, you'll feel just shooting energy, just pulsating through your head. Just it's nutty, dude.
It's pleasant.
It is pleasant. Like what happens is people talk about it, like you start to look into it, and some people who apparently it has driven people crazy.
So you got that going for you.
But the yogis and everyone is like, do not fear it. Let it be. Let it be. So it's like a trip. Like anyone who's done mushrooms, anyone who's done acid.
All you illegal drug takers out there.
Yeah. There's a moment in the trip, or there's some trips that can go really bad. But what the purists say is it's all up to you. It only goes bad if you let it, if you're fighting it, if you're fearful of what's coming through to you. And then your mind, your conditioning takes over. You've heard that drugs are bad. It does come down to that shit. It comes down to the scare tactics, like kids on LSD jumps out window. And yeah, that's happened for sure. But if you are able to let go of that and be in a meditative state in a really good mental place, it doesn't strike you like that. And then it's just it's told from the gurus. It's told it's a pure love. It's a pure bliss, and it's a connection to it's a connection to literally the creator. What creates, like, I've heard it described as what guides the stars guides us internally, and you do get that fucking sense when you connect to it. You just kind of know that, shit, dude, we are all the same thing. Yeah. So that's an intense conversation for Mind Poison.
Yeah. I mean, it is, and it's a lot to take in, but it's obviously, you know,
it's my.
It feels real.
It feels real. I mean, it's my truth. It doesn't have to be real for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know how accessible it is. I know meditation. They know the benefits of meditation with reducing disease. I mean, you can meditate twice a day and kind of clear your systems out. It's just good for, they put people with PSTD on meditation and doing it twice a day, and it was gone within a month. The same with, so it's just like meditation works. Humans need to connect to a quietness. And it allows the resting heart rate to reduce. It just allows a lot of things to naturally take place. So, I mean, anyone looking to battle demons within themselves, depression, anxiety, I mean, the two things I get, meditation and diet. And you know about diet because you're a vegan, so you already subscribe. You're already like, that's one of the main things. And you know me, I'm not. So, and that's, I try to eat pretty well, but one of the main things since I've been getting really nutty into it lately that comes through is that your diet absolutely leads you to higher levels of consciousness.
I could believe that.
Yeah. And you're already there as a vegan. Can you tell any of your feelings that, of why? And I know there's a lot of morality in your idea of why you do it.
I mean, sort of tying it, because I don't really need to get into the whole kit and caboodle here. But I think what it comes down to for me is that it's sort of like you need something to believe in. Like every person needs something that's sort of like a guiding force in a way, or something that they feel passionate about and can engage with. And that's going to be something different for everybody. But for me, like being a vegan, and like caring about animal rights and whatnot, it's something that I can kind of makes me think about my place in the world every day. It's a thing that makes me feel like, however small, like I'm doing something right for the world every day. You know what I mean? So it is sort of finding a connection with everything. And sort of in that respect, I feel like not a religious person, like you said. I think I've been to church more with your family in my life than I ever was with my family.
Right.
Which I think was twice.
I think so.
But that's what it does for me. I think there is innate desire or need for people to feel connected in a certain way, and for me, veganism totally fills that need, in terms of, and it does. It makes you think about what you are, like you said, but just from the diet perspective, it makes you think about what you're taking in, what you're putting in your body, where did that come from? But from, a more spiritual perspective, it's like I am actively doing something every day that, no matter how small, is lessening suffering in the world.
Yeah.
And that's the short of it. But plus I'm real trendy.
I think you make light of it, but I think your veganism is pretty telling of your human spirituality. And I think a lot of times people make the mistake. And, you know, we have problems with organized religion. I do. I certainly do. I know you do, because we know, like, the shit that it's done, the bad that it's done. But a lot of, like, my wife grew up in a great situation with organized religion where it was like community and it was helping people. And I really do see the enlightenment in it. But I do like to separate the idea of spirituality and religion. You know what I mean? I don't like to mix them. I don't like to mix them together. I don't think they are. I think religion was man's reflection of spirituality. That is what man is flawed and fucked up. And unless they can keep their intentions pure, they tend to go towards self-serving needs. You know, but spirituality of itself, when you're concerned about not eating an animal because of how that reflects in the world, well, that just comes down to, like, getting it, like, on a much larger level, like, even, like, on the food level, like, much farther than I'm even willing to yet take it. Like, I feel like when I finally make that sacrifice, I will be able to go to another level. That's how I feel. Like, I get that. I feel like I'm drinking right now. I know that to get almost to the higher place that I can get, it's like I would need to stop drinking. I'm not saying never drink, but, like, not on, like, a weekly basis.
This guy's drinking on a weekly basis.
You know what I mean, though?
I fucking wish I could drink on a weekly basis.
On a daily basis. Whatever you need to do. But, like, you do understand, like, when you get to certain levels, like meditation, like, there's, like, it's definitely, like, it's there. It's like, if you want to go to the next level, it's like, you need to keep this mind healthy. And that's food. And food is, like, your main thing. But alcohol is definitely another one that it's like, you probably shouldn't be, like, killing your brain cells with alcohol all the time. Like, that's kind of like a clear thing that comes through to me.
You could maybe say it's mind poison.
You could say it's mind poison. Mind poison.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things for me that's like, yeah, you almost. I'm trying to, like, think of ways to say this without being over dramatic, but that it's like you need a break. At least I need a break from my brain, man. Like that's like. Yeah, kill some of those brains. I don't need them all. They're not helping.
Yeah, like, and isn't that a great debate? I don't know. Like, yeah, it's just, I get that too, because I've been drinking wine all night, and I'm talking about this shit while I'm drinking wine. Would I have been talking about this shit while I'm not? No, not really.
It's that lubricant we were talking about.
Just a fucking crazy double-edged sword. You know what I mean?
You gotta find the balance, man.
You gotta find a balance. And I do. I'm trying to find that balance in life. And I do. I don't see myself as anyone who wants to be like I ever give up drinking. I want to find that balance. Yeah. And my balance so far has pretty much been, hey, Friday and Saturday nights, have a few drinks.
Yeah.
Most of the week, don't. Yeah, I know. It's just societal. It's the weekend.
A weekend warrior.
Yeah. Americans drink on the weekend. But yeah, because I noticed it in my writing too. Like, I'm just not, whatever. I wish I was. I'm not. Well, I don't wish I was. I'm not the alcoholic writers, the classic alcoholic writers who do all their best works while they're drunk. I don't know. I feel like I write best when I'm sober for a week or two. Like, everything just starts really firing.
Then you probably should do that.
Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah.
Good luck with all that.
I hope you could hear the echo from the wine glass.
Yeah. I know.
Well, this is good, man. I mean, it's good. It's good to get this out there, and either it reaches some people who are like, shit, yeah, I know what you're saying, or at the very least lets people know where you're coming from, So
yeah, I guess.
I think it's good to talk about it. I totally know what you're saying. I'm still at that point where, in terms of, like, meditating, I don't know that that's for me.
Yeah.
You know, but like you said, it's different strokes for different folks.
I do feel like you and we could go up to the mountains and do some microdosing of mushrooms,
Mm-hmm.
and you would have a spectacular time.
See, I feel like there's a 85% chance it would be fantastic, and there's a 15% chance that you don't come back.
Oh, you'd come back.
I'm coming back. I'm just saying that I might murder you.
Well, that could happen. Yeah, we could have a little murder.
So that's what I want to avoid.
I think if you did a teeny bit to start, you would have a great experience.
Look at this.
And that's the whole thing. There's a lot of people talking about this day and age, psychedelics and all that shit, and now they're leaning back towards the medicinal purposes of that. After all these years of demonizing it, it's finally coming back in the research community, being like, fucking crazy. This is actually what people need to sort of like open their portals in their mind to kind of see their true selves in a certain way. I think
did Timothy Leary come onto our podcast? All of a
yeah,
sudden?
he did. Is he here? Are you here, Tim? Oh, you fucking cunt! Oh, look who's back! It's British Bob. Was it British Bob?
British Bob pretending to be Timothy Leary. That's his
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, I'll be all into drugs, you fucking cunts.
Oh no,
Bob. Oh, Bob, you gotta just chill out a little bit.
relax,
fuck
man.
you cunt.
Oh, come on, Bob.
Bob, he's such an asshole.
He really is. And that whole pretending to be Timothy Leary thing.
Yeah.
It's not a good look, Bob.
And with that, shall we let him go?
Yeah, I think so. Do we want to hit up it's a little news?
Do we give a shit? You want to end on a high note?
Yeah, let's do it. A high note. We've already ended on a high note. Get it? Drugs.
And welcome to a rousing and new and spectacular and fondling edition of Do You Give a Shit?
One of those descriptions I'm not sure is apt, but
which one was not like the other?
So be it.
All right, Do You Give a Shit, the weekly game in which I read a happening and we decide whether we give a shit or not, in more of a rapid speed round.
Rapid speed, bang, bang, bang. We're not going to ramble on like we usually do.
Although there's a chance we might.
There might be some heavy breathing from me too, but
there's no guarantees here. All right, LeBron James to Los Angeles Lakers. Do we give a shit?
Who?
Oh, yeah. Is this the wrong podcast? It might be, because we barely give a shit anyway.
No, I mean, not really. It's just kind of like, okay, good for doing this whole thing again. You know, I guess LA, I like their jerseys. Yellow and purple are pretty cool. I don't care. Good luck, guys.
Yeah, DeMarcus Cousins signed with the Warriors. Now they have 5 All-Stars on their starting lineup.
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Oh, I once drove DeMarcus Cousins around in a car. He's an NBA All-Star.
I once drove DeMarcus Cousins crazy.
Yeah, he was crazy.
Well, that's fun. Yeah. Where'd you take him?
It was part of Reggie Evans' charity softball game down in Pensacola, Florida, and I was in charge of picking up DeMarcus and his buddies and bringing them to the game and bringing them back. And, we had a good old night.
Don't say anything you're going to regret.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't. It was a great night. Respectful gentleman.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so he joined the Warriors.
Did you have to take care of the body too, or?
Almost. That was good. They were good guys. They were they're deep south. I think they're all from Mobile, Alabama.
Deep.
And when they wanted to talk but not have you understand what they were talking about, they had a language all their own. Like, you could not understand a word they were saying.
Yeah, they could turn it on, huh? Turn on that southern charm.
Oh, dude. Yeah, they were speaking in a totally different language. And this is not from like some white racist dude. Like this was just like their own language that you were not meant to understand, and you didn't get a word they said.
It's a good move.
Yeah, it was a good move. They were cool dudes for sure, for sure. Okay, so do we give a fuck? I give a fuck. The NBA is a piece of shit league who needs to spread it around a little more. That's gonna be their downfall, I think, unless it's not. Because what do I know? So
Yeah. Well, XBA is coming, so get ready.
the XBA is coming. Yeah. Okay. The Russia investigation. What the fuck happened to it? Do you give a shit?
I do give a shit. I like to think there's some stuff percolating behind the scenes. They're just waiting. They're waiting. Wait, give us till shortly before the election and drop that bomb, please.
Do you think they were just like, yeah, we're getting too much heat? And I'm like, okay, it's been in the news every day, and Mueller was starting to get discredited by Trump and his classic and effective way of discrediting people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're finally like, we got to take this underground.
Yeah. So good luck, Russia investigation.
Good luck. God,
Good luck.
Something's got to come from that. But how much longer can it go on, too? I mean, how long do you need?
Yeah, well, maybe it's just summer break.
Yeah.
You know, they're just, they're all maybe hanging out at Disney World.
New intel shows North Korea still advancing nuclear capabilities despite Trump's summit.
What?
Yeah. Hey, we called that first year on Mind Poison, I believe.
Oh, shocking.
Yeah, did we give a shit?
No. I mean, anyone with a half a brain knew that the whole thing was a sham, so...
But
whatever.
I think it goes back to your point about a certain group of Americans only believing what they see.
Yeah. Trust me, this him advancing his nuclear capabilities is not happening for 4 out of 10 people in America.
You're right.
Yeah.
And wasn't that the main priority all along? That's the whole thing we were talking about originally, is clearly like bullshitting with Trump while Russia said, hey, dudes, just settle it down. Let's bring it underground. Fuck, you're bringing too much heat on everybody. And now we know that's what's happening.
Everybody just chill.
Yeah. All right, and finally, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher getting a divorce. Oh, my God. The 70s show. Stars. Do you give a shit?
How, is he still married to Demi Moore?
No.
No? Oh, okay. I guess then, no. I was
He's banging Mila.
hey, good. Jupiter Ascending's Mila Kunis?
Mila Kunis.
What's she done lately?
Last I remember, she was doing some whiskey ads. Remember those like Devil's Barrel whiskey type things?
Yeah, Jim Beam. Yep. It's not a something. It's an invitation.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't care. Good. I mean, people get divorced.
You didn't think that was gonna work out?
I mean, that's as good a chance as any, I guess.
Who's the only like golden Hollywood couple? It's Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson.
Rita Wilson. Yeah.
Yeah. They've been together forever. Tom Hanks is a good fucking dude.
Yeah, well, you said your 2 favorite movies have him in it, so
That's true.
yeah, there's a big connection there. I just think as a celebrity, you're
Wait,
You're
Shawshank doesn't.
no, isn't he in Shawshank?
No, you're thinking of Tim Robbins.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking of the Green Mile.
Green Mile's good too, though.
Yeah,
Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, as a celebrity, I mean, I feel like that's why celebrity marriages don't work, because you just, as a celebrity, have so many more options,
Right.
right? Like it's a wide open world for you.
That's got to be tough.
Yeah. I mean, not really. It's probably good for both of them, and celebrities just get married out for publicity anyway. So, and desire to connect with another human being.
Well, it's not like they're living normal lives. Our whole life is make-believe. And then you're spending 6 months at a time away from everyone with this other person who you're make-believing that you're in love.
Doesn't always pan out, huh?
Yeah, and that just happens to become love.
Yeah.
Is art imitating life, or is life imitating art?
One time, oh God, I wish I remember what concert we were at. No, we were at a Trailer Park Boys. You know the Trailer Park Boys?
Yes, I love the Trailer Park Boys.
A live show, but the guy next to me, crazy hammered, and I don't know if you remember, Ashton Kutcher at the time was doing like commercials about cameras, And
oh yeah, Nikons, I think.
Yep. And the listeners don't necessarily know what I look like. I don't think I look a lot like Ashton Kutcher, but tell that to this guy. He was like, "Are you his doppelganger? You look exactly like Ashton Kutcher, and he started yelling at people around us, like, "Hey, this is Ashton Kutcher. He's gonna start a flash mob." Like on that fucking commercial, and it's just like,
and everyone's like, "What the fuck
what is this guy talking about?" It's Ashton Kutcher, a flash mob.
You are a beautiful man, though.
Well, I know. I
could see you getting Kutcher.
Yeah, I'm really.
Not really, but you're a beautiful man in your own way.
Well, hey, I appreciate it. That's I'll take Ashton Kutcher. The other celebrity I've gotten is Harlan Williams. So, Ashton Kutcher's
Take Ashton Kutcher any day of the week. Harlan Williams. He's not good. He's not a good one to be getting. You don't look like Harlan Williams.
No.
Oh, dude. One time in a bar, some drunk girl came up to me and swear to God, I was Philip Seymour Hoffman. How's that for a bad one? She wouldn't let it go. She really thought I was a real Philip Seymour.
It's weird. Like this Ashton Kutcher dude, like really leaned into it. There's like, hey, you kind of look like this, but I think there's something with some drunks that are just like, I'm not gonna let this go.
Well, it's in their head. They have some kind of weird crush on them or whatever.
It's like,
and they see it in real life, and you got to be it.
Yeah.
She was really on the old Philip Seymour. I was carrying a few extra pounds at the time. I was all super self-conscious. I'm like, fuck, dude. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. God rest his soul. I love that fucking dude. But yeah, I was like, oh man, I can't be getting Philip Seymour Hoffman. I'm like 25.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Not good. All right.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's that should be good. You got anything else? Any other big topics, or should we save all the real explosive news for next week?
Yeah, next week is back to explosions. This week was an esoteric week of delight.
Yeah. That's good. I like it.
Hope you enjoyed. We love you.
All right, everybody. Well, yeah, have a fantastic week. Hope you enjoyed episode number 17 of Mind Poison.
I can't believe it.
I know.
17. We really did make it. We never thought we were going to hit, I was going to say 21 like the reps. Doesn't work there.
Doesn't work, no. I definitely remember when we started this, we were like, do you think we're going to make 17 episodes? And we were both like, I don't know. But here we go.
We did it. And we're growing slowly but surely. But yeah, again, if you like us, we're grateful for our listeners. And if you do think you have a friend who would enjoy us too, let them know. Yeah. And feel like interact with us. Send an email. We have been responding, to everyone who reaches out, and we love to do it. So we love to interact, and we always want to make that part of our thing, no matter, how small or big. So, we love you guys. Have a good week. And, anything else?
No, we will see you next week right here on
Mind
Poison. Had some good notes there. Lovely.